Hey, hey, hey. Happy Monday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McLear, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, amazingly enough, thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. Yes, I am the founder and editor-in-chief of thegaminggang.com. So welcome aboard. If this is your first time visiting, come on in, kick back, put your feet up, relax. We are not going to engage in rocket surgery around here. We're just going to talk about the latest in tabletop gaming news. So we chat about board games, role-playing games, card games, miniatures games. If you're playing it on your tabletop, we are probably talking about it here. Of course, if you are a longtime viewer, a constant companion of the Gaming Gang channel, welcome aboard. Thank you very much for joining me once again. Always do appreciate it. Tonight is Monday, January 25th, 2021. This is episode 609. Or should I be doing it like this? I guess it doesn't matter. It's still 9 fingers, right? Wow, this is live stream 609. Pretty cool. Of course, I always like to remind everybody, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ding that bell, because it'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday through Thursday nights here on YouTube, it'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as tonight's review of Dinner in Paris from Funny Fox and Hachette Games. Stay tuned after the stream. This will be going live probably about, within about 30 minutes or so of the stream wrapping up. And of course, also want to point out, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Interestingly enough, yesterday I posted the 11,000th article on the Gaming Gang website, which means we have not hit our 11th anniversary yet, but that means over 1,000 articles a year get posted on thegaminggang.com. That's pretty wild, And we average about 80 reviews, thereabouts or so. All right, so I should also point out, if you are watching live on YouTube, and actually, where else would you be watching live? There is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, or maybe you've got a question, comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my best to respond. First out the gate saying hello tonight was the Madman. The Madman is with us. Roman Lives, who I believe this is a first-time visit for Roman. Welcome aboard. Zorak Zoran 1, or as I like to say, ZZ1, not to be confused with ZZ Top, is with us. B Cafe is also in chat with us too. Very cool. Very nice. So, got a good amount of news tonight. Got some cool news. I'm going to discuss it as well. I know some of you out there are like me. You're in the path of a good amount of snow over the next, 18 hours or so. I know by me, We already have about an inch. It started about an hour and a half ago, hour 45 minutes ago, but it was really light. And then started coming down pretty good. So as I headed down into the duct tape studios, I took a peek outside, and yeah, it's coming down pretty good. So we also have Quest Friend joining us in chat. I'm trying to think. I think Quest Friend has visited English, Jeff. English. I believe Quest Friend has visited with us before in chat. So welcome back. Flaming Heron's in the house as well. So both of our chat moderators, both Flaming Heron and the Madman, are in chat with us tonight. Very cool. So the Madman's pointing out that there's no snow by him. I do know the Madman lives in the Michiganish area. Not to give anything away. Yes, the Madman's address is... So I can understand the Madman is going to have a little snow visiting as well, about 2 to 4 inches. Yeah, I think they're predicting 3.5 inches is what I saw. But it's weird. It used to be, at least in my opinion, maybe I'm completely off my nut here. Well, we know I'm off my nut, but I might be wrong about this. It seems to me when they used to predict a certain amount of snow way back in the day, they were pretty good. Now, they weren't as accurate. So they might say, hey, it's going to snow, and it didn't. Or they would say, oh, it's going to be a gorgeous day today. And then, 4 hours later, temperature dropped 50 degrees and it started snowing. But for some strange reason, they always predict a certain amount of snow by me, and we never get that. Sometimes we get a little bit more. Sometimes we get a lot more. Sometimes we get a lot less. So Clint Gibson is popping on in, mentioning that there is snow in Northwest Ohio. So, yeah. I got snow all over the place. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? No, I don't think I missed anybody. Good deal. Quest Friend says no snow, but it's still cold in central, I believe, Montana. If I remember correctly, I think that's what the MT stands for. And I've actually been through Montana quite a bit when I used to deliver my RVs. I should say my RVs. Yeah, my RVs. They were all mine. $200,000 RVs. Yeah. I just, when I used to deliver RVs across the country, mainly went west, almost always went west. For one, because you made way more money that way. But yep, used to go up to Seattle a lot. I have some friends up in Seattle, so that was very cool. Always out in California, Vegas every once in a while. I pass through Reno all the time. But yeah, I used to go through Montana quite a bit. In fact, I have some friends, the Philbach brothers, who are comic book artists, who they do a lot of stuff for First Comics. They used to do the Clone Wars comics for Dark Horse, and they're out of Billings, Montana. So, but I think they live in, I shouldn't say I think. Well, I haven't talked to them in a couple of years because we haven't had Comic-Con, right? That's usually when I run into them and hang out with them. But they live in Vegas now, but they were from Billings. And it's kind of funny. Look them up. Look up the Philbach brothers. It's Fillbach. And they both have these, they both wear cowboy hats. They're good people, very good people. So Craig Martin is here. All right. Who just mentioned they're getting a bunch of snow? Oh, Bee Cafe said they're supposed to get 6 to 8 inches. Yowza. Yeah, we're not supposed to get that much. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. All right. So, Agrede's with us as well. I think I forgot to say hello to Agrede. Okay, so let's jump on into the news because I've got a good amount. I've got some videos to share with you as well. So, arriving next month from 25th Century Games is the family-friendly Gohoku. I think that's how it's pronounced. I've got the dope. Gohoku is a peaceful koi pond building tile laying game. Each turn, players will draft both a koi and a feature tile from the central pond board to place into their personal koi pond. Score points by surrounding flowers with koi containing matching colors, placing frogs next to koi tiles that have dragonflies, and ensuring that baby koi have a safe place to hide by placing them near rocks. Butterflies score based on line of sight, so make sure to line them up with similar colored koi. Turtles and statues bring a sense of balance to your pond and score points more easily, but sometimes aren't as valuable as some of the other features. You must carefully plan the placement of your tiles because once they're in your pond, they can't be moved. With no restrictions on the shape of your pond, you can build a unique layout to maximize your koi pond's appeal. After there are no koi tiles left to refill the central pond board, the game will end. Players will total the points scored by each feature in their pond. Player with the most points wins. Gohoku is for 1 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, plays in around 30 to 40 minutes. It is going to carry an MSRP of $49.99 when it arrives February 10th. Aha. So the interesting aspect of the tiles, as far as I understand, they are acrylic. So you can create some cool 3D effects with the tiles by placing them over other items and that. So cool. I like tile laying games. Always have. There's just, to me, they're relaxing. Even ones that are kind of like cutthroat, I still find very relaxing. So I don't know. So there's some discussion going on. I think it's about the Pathfinder for Savage Worlds Kickstarter that's going on because they have been sharing some actual plays of the Pathfinder for Savage Worlds. So I believe a grade A is kind of bringing that up, talking about it. Rob Germain. Why do I say Germain? It's Rob German. I put letters in people's names. It's like, Rob Australian's here. Rob German is in the house and chat with us as well. Good to see you, Rob. Looks like we got a pretty good chat kicking off already. All right, so there is a big Kickstarter out there. It is nearing almost 2. Yes, so Rob German says it's germane to germane. Anyway, there's a Kickstarter out there. It's nearing $2 million in funding for Italian publisher Reggie Games, and it's Primal: The Awakening. Here's the scoop. Primal: The Awakening is a fully cooperative monster hunting miniature board game for 1 to 4 players set in a fantasy world where humans struggle to survive an untamed wilderness. The game is played in a series of multiple sessions throughout an epic campaign where you'll take the role of hunters fighting monstrous creatures and unveiling mysteries about their origins. There's campaign mode. Players will choose their path through the story by completing quests and unlocking special rewards and achievements. Each mission you choose will lead to different developments of the story and to plenty of unique opportunities like crafting options, unique items, and rare hunts to be played. The consequences of your actions will impact the story as the campaign progresses toward the epic finale. There's hunt mode. While the game has been designed around the campaign experience, players can also play one-shot encounters in the hunt mode. Specific setup and rules are provided for single combat scenarios at different levels of gear and difficulty. The hunt mode also offers the opportunity to play special endgame quests using your campaign characters. The gameplay is centered on an intense and challenging boss fight system that combines tactical positioning on the board, hand management, and cooperative play. Combat is designed to be fast-paced while focusing on card combos and player interaction. Each monster is a unique challenge that hunters will have to face as a group, completing specific objectives and adopting different strategies. Monsters have their own specific deck of cards, which represents their specific combat behavior, including attacks targeting specific areas on the board, special abilities, but also weaknesses and vulnerabilities that hunters can take advantage of during combat. There's also crafting and customization. The game also focuses on a deep character customization. As the campaign progresses, players will unlock a disconnect. And right before it reconnected, you may have actually heard me swearing. Yes, so Rob is pointing out that the stream is frozen. Is it still frozen, gang, or is it just buffering? Because we did have a drop. We did have a disconnection, but yes, it looks like the stream is going. It's showing that I have the stream uploading. Okay, everybody's saying, yep, it's back. All right. Well, you didn't really miss a whole lot. So what I was going to say is I am going to jump on over and bring up the video, the Kickstarter video. It's not very long. It's a couple minutes long, but it'll give you a better look at Primal: The Awakening.
We knew the danger. We always knew. It's been 9 years since our expedition landed in the continent of Thyrea, our new home. But now, the world has changed. The sages call it the Awakening. The forge burns day and night, fueled by the fire of our fears. Ancient threats are upon us, and prophecies state the end will not be long in coming. Fight for survival has begun. Ready for the hunt?
I told you it was quick. Primal: The Awakening is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in around 60 to 90 minutes per session. This project is right about it's almost at 1.9 million. I think it's at $1.88 million. And it's only been up for a week. So, yeah. You can reserve a copy of the core game as well as stretch goals for a $168 pledge through February 2nd. Expected delivery is March of next year. So as the Grade A points out, yes, this game is at almost $2 million. Must be lots of people still with jobs. Or they're stimulating the economy. So Flaming Heron says, maybe it's just 2 million people each contributing $1. Which is kind of weird, because sometimes you'll see these Kickstarters where it's kind of like, oh, hey, just you're not getting anything. It's just saying, hey, we like your project. And it's like, it always defaults to like $10. And it's like, yeah, like anybody's just going to say, oh, yeah, here's $10. Maybe $1 they would. But it like just defaults to the $10. And I always see that. I'm like, does anybody even do that? I don't think so. All right. Moving right along. Although, I guess I should say, before we move right along, this game just strikes me as like Monster Hunter. Like Monster Hunter, the board game. Am I wrong? I mean, it has that kind of look to the characters, to the monsters and everything. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not any good. I'm just saying, the miniatures look pretty sweet. But yeah, this just has a real Monster Hunter vibe to me. So Rob says, it was me. I backed at the $2 million pledge. Well, it's not at 2 million. It's at 1.88 million. Jeez. So Grade A asks, do you think there's a $1 million plus game every month? I don't know. Maybe not so much now. But in the past, I think, for the most part, we used to see, or at least close to $1 million. But I got to say, for just being 7 days old, that is a lot of dough. That is a lot of dough. All right, so I do want to mention we're going to move into some role-playing game news, and I'm going to bring you the major releases for Pathfinder and Starfinder from Paizo Inc. I always point out this news takes a bit of time, so if you have absolutely no interest in Pathfinder and Starfinder, maybe, go grab a sandwich or crack open a beverage or walk around the block. Because February brings plenty of Pathfinder and Starfinder goodness from Paizo Inc. Here's what's on the horizon. First off, we've got the Pathfinder Adventure Path 164, Hands of the Devil, Part 2 of the 3-part Abomination Vaults. Beware when dealing with devils. The Abomination Vaults sprawl far beneath the mysterious gauntlet, and it's time to take weapons, torches, and wits into the deeper dungeons. Here, vile flesh crafters labor to create armies of monsters for their long-dead leader, and a force of devils still work to maintain order among the feral and fractious monsters. An unlikely ally can reveal the secrets of the Abomination Vaults, but his price is steep and must be paid in blood. Hands of the Devil. I have spoke. Eternal angels, I have held the hands of the devil. Actually, it's Hand of the Devil. Yep. Yeah, a little nod to you two there, right? Hands of the Devil is a Pathfinder adventure for 4 5th-level characters. This adventure continues the Abomination Vaults Adventure Path, a 3-part monthly campaign in which the heroes explore a sprawling mega-dungeon to stop an ancient evil from renewing her monstrous vengeance. This adventure also includes a close look at the wicked will-o-wisps, an examination of Golarian's flesh crafters, and new rules and monsters. Each monthly full-color softcover Pathfinder Adventure Path volume, say that 5 times fast, contains an in-depth adventure scenario, stats for several new monsters, and support articles meant to give game masters additional material to expand their campaign. Pathfinder Adventure Path volumes use the open game license and work with both the Pathfinder RPG and the world's oldest fantasy RPG. The softcover is going to carry an MSRP of $24.99. The PDF will be available for $17.99. Now we also have Pathfinder Lost Omens Ancestry Guide. Remember who you are. The Age of Lost Omens is filled with people of all types, including more than just those of common ancestries. Lost Omens Ancestry Guide places the spotlight on the uncommon and rare ancestries of the Inner Sea, like Geniekin, androids, kitsune, sprites, and more, providing information on their cultures and place in the world. The book also expands on the rules options for these ancestries and versatile heritages. Finally, Lost Omens Ancestry Guide also features new ancestries and versatile heritages, including some that are brand new, as well as old favorites from throughout Golarion. This will be a hardcover. It's going to carry an MSRP of $34.99. You'll be able to grab the PDF for $24.99. Then we've got the Pathfinder Advanced Player's Guide Pocket Edition. Ready to go beyond the basics? Expand the limits of what's possible with the Pathfinder Advanced Player's Guide Pocket Edition. This 272-page Pathfinder 2nd Edition rulebook contains exciting new rules options for player characters, adding even more depth of choice to your Pathfinder game. Inside, you'll find brand new ancestries, heritages, and 4 new classes: the Shrewd Investigator, the Mysterious Oracle, the Daring Swashbuckler, and the Hex-Slinging Witch. The must-have Advanced Player's Guide also includes exciting new options for all your favorite core rulebook classes and tons of new backgrounds, general feats, spells, items, and 40 flexible archetypes to customize your play experience even further. This softcover pocket edition does carry an MSRP of $24.99. You can check out my review of the Advanced Player's Guide. I did a review of it, paged through it. It is the hardcover, not the pocket edition. But if you're kind of curious what it contains, check that out. Then we've got the Pathfinder Flip Mat Classics Red Light District. Whether your party is looking for contacts in the criminal underworld or fleeing from an angry thieves guild, or I guess looking to pick up prostitutes. I mean, it's the red light district. That's what the red light stands for. I'm just saying. No game master wants to spend time drawing every darkened alley and ramshackle storefront or brothel. Fortunately, with Paizo's latest Pathfinder flip mat, you don't have to. This line of gaming maps provides ready-to-use fantasy set pieces for the busy game master. This double-sided map is the perfect place for urban adventures and even matches up with Pathfinder flip mat classics Pub Crawl, providing a setting for any encounter needing a seedy atmosphere. A special coating on each flip mat allows you to use wet erase, dry erase, and, you guessed it, permanent markers with ease. Removing permanent ink is easy. Simply trace over any permanent mark with a dry erase marker. Wait 10 seconds, then wipe off both marks with a dry cloth or paper towel. Each flip mat measures 24 inches by 30 inches unfolded and 8 by 10 folded. On table crop, I need a sip. On table crops, jeez. Flaming Huron's asking, was that the first time I've mentioned the world's oldest profession? I believe in the live stream, yes. It may have been. I don't think I've mentioned prostitution before. Anyway, on tabletops across the world, the flip mat revolution is changing the way players run their fantasy role-playing games. Why take the time to sketch out ugly scenery on a smudgy plastic mat when dynamic encounters and easy cleanup is just a flip away? This flip mat will carry an MSRP of $14.99. Let's move on into the Starfinder releases because Adventure Path number 37, The White Glove Affair, Part 4 of 6 for Fly Free or Die is on the horizon. The crew of the Timothy Oliphant, okay, it's just the Oliphant, have been living paycheck to paycheck for too long. Now they've got a chance to become richer than they've ever imagined. I don't know. I can imagine quite a bit. By stealing one of the Calistocracies legendary treasure barges. Calistocracy? I don't know. Some autocratic state, no doubt. But this heist turns out to be more than anyone bargained for. When the crew ends up stranded on a hidden resort in the drift, well, Calistocrats. So what do you call the act? Oh, we're the aristocrats. Yeah, I'm just throwing out some really bizarre references, right? Where Calistocrats outbid each other for the plundered wealth of the galaxy. The only way off this rock is to win the auction, steal the keys to the commerce barge, and outrun both the competition and the law. The White Glove Affair is a Starfinder adventure for 4 7th level characters. This adventure continues the Fly Free or Die adventure path, a 6-part monthly campaign in which players take on the role of a merchant crew with an experimental starship trying to get rich, escape interplanetary assassins, and outwit their rivals. This also includes a series of side jobs, short mini-adventures the GM can insert into the campaign at any time, and shines a spotlight on the prophecies of Calistrade, including the golden commerce barges that carry their treasure off to Fortune's Heart, a secret auction house in the drift. Each monthly full-color softcover Starfinder Adventure Path volume, say that 5 times fast, contains a new installment of a series of interconnected science fantasy quests that together create a fully developed plot of sweeping scale and epic challenges. Each 64-page volume of the Starfinder Adventure Path also contains in-depth articles that detail and expand the Starfinder campaign setting and provide new rules, a host of exciting new monsters and alien races, a new planet to explore, a starship to pilot, and more. The softcover edition of this adventure will carry an MSRP of $22.99. Snag the PDF for $15.99. We also have the Starfinder Pawns, the Devastation Arc Pawn Collection. Key aliens and NPCs from the Devastation Arc Adventure Path come alive on your tabletop with the, you guessed it, Devastation Arc Pawn Collection, featuring more than 100 creature pawns for use with the Starfinder role-playing game, or any tabletop science fantasy RPG. Printed on sturdy cardstock, each pawn presents a beautiful full-color image of an alien, NPC, or starship from the Devastation Arc campaign, including ancient alien threats, enraged outsiders, and dozens of unique creatures. The Devastation Arc Pawn Collection, together with the creatures and characters from the Starfinder Alien Archive Pawn Box and Starfinder Core Rulebook Pawn Collection, provides pawns for nearly every Devastation Arc encounter. Each cardstock pawn slots into a size-appropriate plastic base from the Starfinder Pawns base assortment, making the pawns easy to mix with traditional metal or plastic miniatures. With tons of distinct images, the Devastation Arc Pawn Collection brings to life enemies and allies from all three adventures of the Devastation Arc Adventure Path. From enraged outsiders to alien threats, find all of the enemies and allies of the Devastation Arc Adventure Path on these beautifully illustrated pawns. While creature pawns are broken out by base size, all starship pawns use medium bases, from the tiniest fighter to the largest warship. The physical pawns will be available for an MSRP of $19.99, or you'll be able to get the PDF for $13.99. And then finally, we have the Starfinder Flip Tiles Alien Planet Starter Set. Stage the scene for epic science fantasy adventures with the Starfinder Flip Tiles Alien Planet Starter Set. This box collection of 42 durable, double-sided, full-color 6x6-inch map tiles can be used to construct never-ending extraterrestrial jungles and deserts full of strange hazards and bizarre fauna, providing tons of options for planetary encounters. These exciting new tiles bring countless combinations to your game table. Suitable for experienced GMs and novices alike, this product fits perfectly into any game master's arsenal. Wet, dry, and permanent markers are raised from the tiles. These double-sided space station tiles come in convenient packaging for easy storage. Thought they were planet tiles. Why are they saying space station tiles? Box set's going to carry an MSRP of $34.99. You'll be able to grab the PDF for $24.99. All these Pathfinder and Starfinder releases are slated to hit stores on February 24th. All right, so ZZ1's got to rock out. Good to see you, ZZ. Thanks for hanging out with us. And putting up with, what was that, about 10 minutes worth of Pathfinder, Starfinder news? All right, anyway. So, there you have it. Jorge Rodriguez has joined us. Yay! Good to see you, Jorge. We haven't seen you in a while. Nice. So, there's some discussion going on about how many board game Kickstarters brought in over $1 million. There were 31 in 2020. Impressive. Most impressive. All right, let me grab a quick sip here. On to our next news piece. There's an interesting looking D&D 5th edition setting book. It's arrived in PDF. It's from Acheron Books. I've got the skinny on Brancalonia. Taking a guess right there, right? Based on Italian tradition, folklore, history, landscapes, literature, and pop culture, Brancalonia is a campaign setting for the 5th edition of the most famous role-playing game ever. I don't know why I threw that out there like that. Enter the kingdom of Broncolonia, or Bronzolonia. I don't know. Let's say Broncolonia just for the heck of it. A land full of pitfalls and money-making opportunities. Create your own band of knaves and listen to free company. Get yourself some well-paid jobs. Deliver a fist and knife buffet to those who have it coming. I have never heard it presented like that. Hey, why don't you come on over here for a little fist and knife buffet? Stabe, punch. Once you've collected a tidy sum and somewhat climbed the ranks of your company, you'll be ready to try your luck in that final job that could enable you to go out in a blaze of glory. After all, what could possibly go wrong? In this book, you can find a general description of the kingdom, its history, and its main regions. 5 new playable races in addition to the human, taken from Italian tradition and folklore. 12 new subclasses, 1 for each of the basic classes, like the Benedante and the Superstition. Superstition. The Sword Player and the Brigand. The Miraculist and the Friar. Their new backgrounds, talents, equipment, and magic items, typical of Broncolonian knaves. Secrets, threats, curiosities, places of interest, rumors, and game hints for the Candatrio, whatever that might be, including random table generators for dives, memorabilia, and roads to nowhere. New setting rules, dive games, brawls, shoddy equipment, misdeeds, notoriety, bounties, den management, revels, and prophecies. In Search of the Quatrains, a collection of 6 adventures set in different parts of the kingdom. 24 new monsters and antagonists inspired by Italian history, tradition, and folklore. And so much more. For the bounty! This 198-page PDF is available right now at DriveThruRPG for $15. I am going to share the Kickstarter video for this. It's pretty short. Now, I do want to point out, I had to strip the music out. There's no music to it. And actually, there's no voiceover. It was just music. But I did want to share it because this does look pretty interesting. And I wanted to share a little more about it so you can get a better look at, well, it's only in PDF right now. But let's take a quick peek at the Kickstarter video. That was a little strange. It was not supposed to have audio there. I don't know what the heck happened there. All right, it's going to flag me for copyright. Damn. Hate when that happens. But this does look very interesting, and it's kind of funny because it's being touted as spaghetti fantasy. No joke. It's being referred to as spaghetti fantasy. So I would, I don't know. I don't know. Flaming Heron says, hopefully that last bit wasn't long enough for them to flag me. Probably not. Probably not. I think they give you like 10 seconds or something like that. But yeah, all of a sudden I'm sitting there and I'm kind of watching the video unfold, and then all of a sudden I see that it's like, wait a second, there's sound on that. What the hell's going on there? Anyway, once again, the 198-page PDF is available over at DriveThruRPG for $15. And finally, there is a new source book available from the Johnstown Compendium for RuneQuest. It is Citizens of the Lunar Empire, and I've got the details. Welcome to your new apartment, citizens. New to Glamour? Well, I'm sure you'll fit right in. Rent is payable in advance. Citizens of the Lunar Empire is a source book for urban adventures for RuneQuest role-playing in Glorantha. It focuses on the day-to-day lives of the working-class heroes of the lunar capital. Inside, you'll find a detailed home base for your adventurers, the Insula, a typical multi-storied residential city block, a self-contained microcosm of lunar urban society. It's a home to many families and businesses, ranging from scribes and traders on the lower floors to the unemployed, squatters, temple dancers, and students at the higher levels. This 172-page book contains maps, floor plans, and elevations, descriptions of 12 businesses and 25 families, portraits and statistics for 70 NPCs, 60 adventure hooks for your urban campaign, details of daily life in an ancient city from bread making to waste disposal, rules for making a living and keeping a roof over your head in the sophisticated Lunar Empire. Full details of the two main cults featured in this book, along with a detailed gazetteer and map of the city of Glamour, can be found in a rough guide to Glamour, which is also available from the Johnstown Compendium. This has a little video too. I am going to share the video with it. This one, I didn't have to worry. I ran it through and there's no copyright infringement. So I do want to share this so you can get a better look as well. Once again, the 172-page PDF for Citizens of the Lunar Empire is available at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. Cool. I always like to share interesting releases for RuneQuest. I like to share a little bit of love for RuneQuest as well. So, and I believe this source book is written by just one person. It has one author. So that's quite a lot. And I think for some strange reason, I think the author is actually a historian too. So I would think this would be pretty interesting. So a Great A says, sounds like an old sad spaghetti western music, which should have been with the other game, right? Broccolonia or whatever it is. Yeah, I think Broncolonia as well. At least that's what I was saying it. Yeah, Flaming Ren says, yeah, seems like it was on the wrong game too. All right, so of course, both of those items, both of the last two news piece items are available over at DriveThruRPG. Once again, keep in mind that the Gaming Gang and, of course, thus the Dispatch are affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to go visit, say, DriveThruRPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you do happen to make a purchase, I get a little portion of that sale. And all those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep the Gaming Gang website around. There are actually quite a few people who do use those links, so I really, really do appreciate it. All right, so that is it for the news tonight. Great A's mentioning that Tracy Hickman announced the new Dragonlance novels today. I guess there's 3 of them, a new trilogy, I believe. That's not really, I don't really cover that stuff. I might put that up on the website, but yeah, I don't usually cover, non-game related stuff on the Dispatch. I've already got a few news pieces already for tomorrow. So it was like, nice, all right. Actually, there was one that I would have actually included today if I had been able to get some images earlier. I did get some, but I couldn't get anything. I had to reach out to the publisher to say, hey, I want to share a news piece about this. Is there anything outside of just the cover I can share? So Great A says they hope that the writing of the Dragonlance novels improved since he was 14. It's kind of funny. It's almost like, kind of thinking about that kind of stuff, almost reminds me of like TV shows you watched when you were a kid, books you read as a kid are like, wow, you know what? If I reread that and you're like, oh my gosh, what the hell was I thinking? But the thing is, see, I'm lucky because maybe I'm just weird. But when I was like 12, I was reading like Peter Straub and Stephen King and stuff like that. So and when I was a lot younger, yeah, I read stuff like Tom Swift. I was a big Tom Swift fan. I was never a Hardy Boys fan, and I really didn't read any Nancy Drew. But like those really old school kind of, series. I did read Tom Swift for some stupid reason. And then I saw I think, is it Disney Channel's making a Tom Swift, and it looks, or at least sounds, I shouldn't say, I don't think they've shot anything for it. It sounds absolutely ridiculous. It's like, brother. Anyway. But yeah, that's kind of funny because it also reminds me of like TV shows you watched when you were a kid or, in your early teens, going through puberty, what have you. And I remember watching The Love Boat, and I don't know why. It's like, why did I? Well, of course I watched it because, there might be some attractive women in it. And, but outside of that, I don't know. Just like my best friend Elliot, I remember, in fact, we were still in high school. I think we were like seniors or something, and they were doing reruns of Starsky and Hutch on like a UHF channel. And it was on one night, and he's like, "Oh, Starsky and Hutch is on, man. Let's watch Starsky and Hutch," because I was like hanging out there, and started watching it for a little bit, and all of a sudden Elliot's like, "God, this sucks." It's like, how could I have liked this shit when I was a kid? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So, so Grade A's talking about they still have their collection of old AD&D Choose Your Adventure books. Nice. So Clint Gibson is saying that they're hoping for a source book. I'm taking a guess, maybe Dragonlance source book. I don't know. So the Madman says they read Sir Arthur Conan Doyle Plicudar series as a kid. I'm not sure what that, I'm sure I mispronounced it, but I'm not even sure what that is. Every book had the same storyline, different characters, but very predictable. Huh. Nice. Oh, of course, the Lone Wolf series. I got to be honest, I don't think too many of us in the U.S. really had our hands on many of the Lone Wolf books. At least I don't remember running across them too often. I know I saw some, but I don't think we had a bunch. So Clint Gibson says, I still buy Endless Quest books when they come out. Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. We had 4. In fact, if I remember correctly, I think Clint bought one from the auction. The one that they had sent me was I think it was a dwarf cleric. How about that? All right, there was one last thing I wanted to mention. Those of you who hang out on Board Game Geek, I was kind of curious if anybody's noticed this. But when you go look at it, I've noticed this recently. I'm not sure when it started, because I got to be honest, I really don't hang out on Board Game Geek too often. I know a lot of people love Board Game Geek, but as a reviewer, there's a lot of cranks on Board Game Geek. But you may have noticed a lot of times when you were taking a look at a game, you would see there was a little section that say, it might have, you could go buy it on Amazon. There's like a link, or there'd be a link to, like, say, Miniature Market to go pick it up. I'm noticing fewer and fewer of those, and more links to the online game store that Board Game Geek owns now. I don't know if people realize that, but they do. And I was wondering if anybody's noticed that they offer absolutely no discount. 0 discounts. So if the game has an MSRP of $45.99, you're going to pay $45.99. I am kind of surprised. And then in other ways, I'm not. So, but I was curious if people have noticed that Board Game Geek is really, really trying to insert themselves in the sales of board games now, as opposed to just like their board game store. Well, their store that they would have with like promos and stuff like that. They're really, really looking to get into the actual, maybe even distribution. I don't know. Great says it's because you're supporting the geek. It is what it is. I've said it many times before, and I don't have anything against these people, because I got to be honest, I have never actually met them. But if anybody thinks Board Game Geek is around because of a great love of board gaming, you are sorely mistaken. The folks who own Board Game Geek are there for the money. For the money. Which, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. But they're pretty obvious about it if you know what you're looking for. All right, but I love that. Great. He's like, it's because you're supporting the geek. So the madman says the Edgar Rice Burroughs. Oh, okay, there we go. I'm sitting there like, Arthur Conan Doyle. Huh? I didn't know he wrote like a series. I'm like that. I don't know. That's kind of funny. So Grade A says I read that Con Sim World is going to update their forums. Oh, Grade A, you are in fine form tonight. You are in fine form. Grady says it's only been since 1996. Actually, I think it's longer than that. And the best part is they did update their forums a few years ago, and they look the same. Hey, I like John Krantz. John Krantz is a good guy. He's a very nice guy. And that is something that he does not like make tons of money from. Just like Consim World Expo out in Tempe, Arizona. When I lived out in Arizona, I went and covered it. And I was going to interview John, and John was like, It's like, no, I don't want it about me. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So it turns out John Krantz isn't even really a gamer. I thought that was pretty wild. Really doesn't play games. I was like, but you run a forum about conflict simulation games and you organize a convention for wargaming. He's like, yeah, I know. Because I just love watching other people play, and I love the history in that. So, but yes, that's another place, unfortunately, that is got a lot of cranks. It really does. I have to be honest. I've noticed, like, if I do a video for, and it's almost always for like if I'm doing war games. So Grade A says John just did an interview this weekend. Yeah, we're talking. This is like 8 years ago. This is before. I don't even think they had started their Consim Press. I don't think they had that. So Fleming Heron says, yeah, like a game designer not playing games. Yes, there have been a few of those out there that design games, but they are not gamers. They don't play games. But anyway, now I completely lost. I lost my train of thought. Okay. Anyway, so I noticed when I do a video for a war game, I noticed that I get percentage-wise way fewer thumbs up on the video. And I noticed that wargamers are, so quick to be like, oh, at 20 minutes and 13 seconds, you mentioned the combat results table and you call it a CTR rather than a CRT. It's like, geez, it's like they're like super like critical of everything you do. Whereas I noticed role-playing game videos tend to have a much higher percentage of people saying, yeah, I like this. Thanks. I like this. So kind of cool. At least that I'm kind of cool about role-playing games. But yeah, just like Board Game Geek, only time I'm really over on Board Game Geek is if I'm posting a video about a game, and same kind of thing. It'll be like right away, somebody jumps in there and they're like, 13 minutes in. You said this counter was this, but that counter's actually that. It's like, oh my God. It's like, relax. Jeez. Flaming Heron says, yeah, that says a lot more about role-playing gamers. It does. It really does. So Grade A says, yeah, I remember the first update. I like to read through the fire threads over at Consim World. The other thing about Consim World is I haven't really gone over there. I haven't been on Consim World in years. Because I used to go there just to pull news pieces and that. But now I just really don't. But I was going to say that the forums are so difficult to navigate. It'd be one thing if the forums look kind of like, yeah, that, 2005 called, they'd like their forum back. If at least you could, navigate around through them. I was on there and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like, I don't know. Where is what people are like, oh yeah, they wrote about, somebody was writing about you and Elliot over on Consim World. And I was like, really? Yeah, on the forum. I'm like, where? I'm like, I can't find it. Anyway, so Great Ace says, have you seen their Twitter? Quest Friend says, yeah, maybe rules lawyering in RPGs tends to be looked down on. Well, rules lawyering is a little bit different because I can tell you that because I used to be one way back in the day. And it was just, you knew the rules better than anybody else. So you made sure you were going to win. I don't know if I don't think I sat there correcting people on, whatever. So Jorge Rodriguez says, I suspect the competitive aspect overwhelms some people. So Great Ace says their Twitter is just links. Every post, a link to their website. Yeah. I think they missed the idea of Twitter, according to a Great A. Well, I'll be the first to point out that my Twitter feed has a lot of links to the Gaming Gang website, but it actually tells you what's going on. It's not just a link. There's an image. There's usually a title. Every once in a while, I'll just, share something. So Flaming Heron says, can't speak to war games, but I know when I play board games, people will stick to the rules as written and people argued over it. Now, it is the rules as written. All right. That's it for this time out. Do want to mention there is still time left for the contests. A little bit of time. So Flaming Heron says, even when the rules are ambiguous, they still argue about it. Usually if the rules are fairly ambiguous, we come to a decision before, well, I shouldn't say always, but we are usually able to come to some sort of agreement before we actually get to the point where it's like, well, what the hell does this rule mean? So, all right now, I am 120 subscribers away from giving away Next War Korea from GMT Games. Got to hit 4,000 subscribers by the end of this month. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Could be. Taking a shot at it. I will have 2 contests that I will announce on February 1st. Got new contests going on. These I might actually, they might be I think people will kind of dig it. Also, if I can get to 5,000 subscribers before the end of the month, I will provide a complete core set of first edition Dungeons and Dragons rule books, including the Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and Monster Manual, all with artwork from Jeff Eastley. And, of course, do also want to mention that if I'm able to hit 6,000 subscribers by the end of next month, it's happened. I mean, I have pulled like 700 subscribers in a month, but that's usually with a D&D book contest. Flame Heron's like, I go create 1,200 Gmail accounts. I don't care. Now that I said that, YouTube's gonna catch me saying that, and then Google will be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, we're not gonna let you monetize anything anymore. Don't create 1,200 Gmail accounts, please." Anyway, so Great A says it's 3.88K today. Yes, we I think for the month, I think over the last 28 days, I think we picked up 110 subscribers. which is kind of average, just a little above what we normally get. But the Flaming Heron's like, kidding. Yes, Flaming Heron was kidding. YouTube and Google. Anyway, if I hit 6,000, then I will be giving away my alternate art copy of Dungeons and Dragons Candlekeep Mysteries, and I'll ship it. Basically, any of these contests, I'm going to ship to wherever the winner is, as long as I can ship it there, you know. So yes, if you're Iraqi and you happen to watch the show and you win, I don't think I can get you the games. Sorry. Anyway, and then, of course, February 1st, I will have some new contests as well. Got some goodies cooking there. All right. So, as I like to always remind everybody, if you like this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. If you do subscribe, ding that bell, because it'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live, Monday through Thursday nights right here on YouTube. It'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as tonight's review of Dinner in Paris from Funny Fox and Hachette Games. Definitely check this out. Like I said, it'll be up in about 30 minutes once I get everything done for this stream. So, and of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Monday nights, Tuesday morning, whatever day it happens to be while you're watching this. Of course, I will be back tomorrow. And as I wrap up all my videos during this never-ending pandemic, I really sincerely hope all of you out there are being smart and staying safe. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, if you'd like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel, by all means, click right here. And if you'd like to check out one of our recent live streams, click right up top. And if you want to roll the dice and see what the algorithm for YouTube recommends, click right here. And of course, thank you once again for watching. And gang, please stay safe and wear a mask.